So this is JS Lint, and JS Lint was written by Douglas Crockford as a way of basically having a way to validate JavaScript code and make sure that it's well written. Now, a lot of people don't really appreciate JS Lint because it's so strict, and it can be over the top sometimes, and I'll give an example of that. So there's another one called JS Hint that a lot of people prefer to use. That's more lenient. As Douglas Crockford has said, that he doesn't want to make this more lenient because that defeats the purpose, and we should just be trying to write standardized code that is excellent in structure. So I'll go ahead and show you JS Lint, and you can decide eventually if you want to use JS Lint or JS Hint or none at all. But it's a great practice to try and get it to pass JS Lint, even if after a while you throw your arms up and you don't want to use it anymore. You'll learn a lot by using this at least a few times with your program. It will definitely improve your programming skills. Okay, so I'm going to copy and paste a program in here. You just go ahead and take your JavaScript, copy it, paste it in here as you would maybe with W3 Schools for CSS or HTML. So I have a number guessing game program that I wrote earlier. Let me go ahead and going to help if I have a script tag in here. There we go. So you don't copy any HTML. You just copy the JavaScript in here. And I'm going to select it from the bottom JavaScript to the top here. Copy it, and I'll paste it on in. And when I paste it in, I go ahead and just press the button. There's a button here for JS Lint. And when I press that, I'm going to get some errors. So the error checking can be pretty painful sometimes with JS Lint, and you're going to need to probably find yourself going searching the web. And actually, if you take these errors here, such as missing use strict statement, and you were to just copy and paste that into Google, then you're going to have several things that pop up, and they'll recognize that you're probably having errors with JS Lint or JS Hint. Stack Overflow is a great resource for trying to pass JS Lint, and they're very supportive of that and trying to help you find the answers. So don't hesitate to use web resources to find out solutions to this. So missing use strict statement. So what that means is that we want to use the use strict statement. It's just a string, and we want to put that within our JavaScript program. And it used to be where you'd put the use strict statement just at the top of your JavaScript program, and it would say that you wanted to have it be evaluated as strict, kind of like how it used to be with XHTML when you would have strict HTML. So to do this, you can actually just copy that use strict statement, but the best thing to really do in this case is to actually just use that within your functions. So if we come in here and we'll just use it within our functions, then that should be very helpful. All functions need to have a use strict within them if you want to pass JS Lint. So I'm going to find my function. I think I only have one function in this actual program, and I'm going to put use strict at the very top there, in this case on line 43 here, where that function is, and you can see that, I think, and then I'll end it with a semicolon. So now if I copy and paste, that should be helpful. It might still say use strict because I might have to do one more thing, but let's see what happens here. I'll go ahead and clear this out. There's a button for clear that I'll press. I'll paste the use strict in. There we go. Okay, so actually that helped quite a bit already. So I only have one error, and that's a semicolon at the end. And it's going to give me my line number. It'll tell me line 28. Okay. So let me find line 28. My line numbering will be different, though, because this is embedded in HTML. So I need to find the semicolon for the end of this. I am thinking, I'm trying to find where that might be. I'm going to take a wild guess that it's the end of my conditionals. That may be it. Okay, I'll try one more time here. And if I can't get it right away, then I can return back to this later. But I want to show you another hint as well here. So let me go ahead and paste this in. No, that actually created one more problem. So let me try one more time. Okay, so you see how trying to get through this can be a little bit of a bear. Take out that conditional. I'm actually going to take this one out too. And let me go ahead and copy this and paste it. And regardless of how this one comes out, I want to show you one more thing about getting these things to validate. Oh, okay, so great, so that was it. So it looks like I just had too many semicolons. Now, one last thing here is that you probably want to check things like messy white space. You want it to ignore or tolerate messy white space, or you're going to go crazy. So down at the bottom, you can check these and make sure you have it to be true. The other thing you probably want it to do, or you're most definitely going to want, is to say that you're in a browser. That's going to make a difference for how it's treating the objects. Okay, so make sure you treat that. And then what you can do here, there's other things you can check too. Those are the two most obvious ones that you're going to need. And you come down here and you actually just copy and paste this. It creates this comment for you that, for example, you want it to ignore white space and so forth. So you select it and copy it, and you just paste that into your function now, or your JavaScript at the top. Then that will help validate it when you want to run it through JS Lint. Okay. And, you know, if you want to brag a little bit, you probably deserved it. So maybe at the top of your code, you could say passed JS Lint, you know, whenever, 11/10, right? 2012 or what have you. Okay, so you could say that and then probably put a date on it because JS Lint's going to change eventually, and that's probably going to get more strict or what have you. But at this time, at least you know that it did pass as of that date that you have.